This is Valley News Live at 5.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news. Police say a man wanted on multiple firearm charges may be in Fergus Falls. Authorities issued an arrest warrant for 27-year-old Joshua Robles after a shooting in Alexandria. They say he left the hospital where he was being treated for a gunshot wound. Investigators believe he shot himself in the hand with a stolen firearm. Police were able to find that firearm where the shooting took place. There, they arrested another man on unrelated outstanding warrants. Police say Robles is known to stay with people in Alexandria and Fergus Falls. If you know where he may be, call police. More breaking news tonight. We're learning more about a bomb threat that sent the Minnesota Capitol building into lockdown this morning. Valley News Team's Quinn Gorham was there and has the latest on the investigation.
As of mid-afternoon, the Minnesota State Capitol building was reopened to the public after a security sweep cleared the premises. As for the threat itself, it was received by State Capitol security at around 9 a.m. this morning. Several other state capitals were involved. This is believed to be a multi-state bomb threat email that was made, and by 9:30, teams of state capitol security officers, state patrol officers, and bomb-sniffing canine units were dispatched to the Capitol premises. The public was evacuated and all activities that were going in the Capitol were postponed, only to be resumed later this afternoon when the Capitol premises was reopened. That sweep was done by around 10:15. Nothing dangerous was found at the time, but the Minnesota State Capitol security will continue to monitor the situation with an increased presence within the state capitol, and the Minnesota BCA is in contact with other states that received similar bomb threats to make sure they better understand the situation and continue to monitor it. This is a developing situation. This is all we know for the moment. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety is not going to be providing any interviews on the situation, but we'll keep you updated with any information that comes in. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Again, according to State Patrol, there is no credible threat to the public at this time. New information tonight after a crash yesterday on I-29. A Moorhead woman has been cited for failure to maintain control and for changing lanes when unsafe after hitting a semi that was pulled over on I-29 in South Fargo. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the semi driver was on the shoulder of the road near 52nd Avenue with hazard lights on yesterday morning when 23-year-old Rachel Kruger veered onto the shoulder and hit the trailer. Witnesses described the scene.
My instincts were telling me to just keep checking my rearview mirror, and I noticed them getting closer and closer to the 18-wheeler, so I just kept my eye on my rearview mirror, and they slammed into the back of it.
Kruger suffered minor injuries, but her passenger is seriously injured and had to be cut out of the vehicle. Kruger's citations total $120. Let's get a first look at your forecast now from First Alert Storm Team's Summer Schnellbach. Summer?
Thank you so much, Stacy, and thank you everyone for joining us here on this Wednesday. It's been kind of a gray and gloomy day with some scattered light snow showers, a dusting in some areas, otherwise no impacts. Here you can see it on the satellite and radar, mostly being detected through the central Red River Valley. However, we know that other areas are seeing these flakes too. They're just being missed by the radar site located in Mayville. But here's a closer look through the central Red River Valley from around Cooperstown, Mayville, down the I-29 corridor. Again, just a few flakes and flurries, not going to impact your evening commute. 19 right now here in Fargo, feels like 6 with that wind out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour. A dusting of snow on the ground here in Grand Forks along the Greenway. 18 degrees northeast wind at 8 miles per hour brings that wind chill down to 8. Air temperatures in most areas, Stacy, after 20s to near 30 by midnight last night are down into the teens. So as expected, we've been seeing those falling temperatures with wind chills in the single digits. Much colder air on the way for later next week, but before then we have a couple chances for snow. A breakdown when coming up.
All right, thanks, Summer, and make sure you have the VNL weather app handy as temperatures drop. You can download and use it for free. Just search VNL weather in the App Store. After allegedly shooting at a vehicle with 2 women and 2 children inside. Police tracked down Andy Hernandez after getting a call downtown Fargo on Friday. According to court documents, the woman told police a man driving a black Mercedes ran a stop sign on Broadway. They were going west on First Avenue South and had to swerve to get around him. Investigators say Hernandez is then accused of pulling a rifle out of his trunk and firing 1 shot at the car. The vehicle was not hit. Hernandez is charged with 2 counts of terrorizing, reckless endangerment, and discharging a firearm in city limits. New information on a Foreman, North Dakota man sentenced after a months-long investigation led to a raid of his home back in June. Jay Deigel pleaded guilty to 7 drug and weapons-related charges. According to law enforcement, several search warrants in June turned up drugs totaling $50,000, including 12 pounds of marijuana, a quarter pound of meth, and LSD. Deigel pleaded guilty to all charges against him and was sentenced in Sargent County Court to 10 years in prison. The fire chief in St. Paul says fast response times and the selfless actions of his firefighters are why 7 members of a Minnesota family have a chance of surviving following an early morning house fire. Crews responded about 1:30 a.m., entering the burning home and found 7 victims all unconscious on the main level. They were rescued and paramedics immediately performed CPR before they were rushed to the hospital. The homeowner says he was at work and his wife and 6 children were inside when that fire started. The chief was emotional as he talked about this morning's response, saying 1 firefighter is personally responsible for saving 3 of the 6 children. 63 firefighters responded. The chief said he talked with all those involved in the rescue and offers mental health support in the days and weeks ahead. Iran state media says 2 explosions killed more than 100 people and wounded 100 others today at a ceremony to commemorate a top Iranian commander. 2 bombs exploded minutes apart. The first explosion happened at a cemetery where the general is buried. Seconds later, the second explosion happened about 2,000 feet from the cemetery. Iranian officials have called the explosions a terrorist attack. So far, no group has claimed responsibility. While there has been significant progress in restoring power, Cass County Electric still has a lot of work to do as many customers are still without power. More than 4,600 members were affected on December 25th. As of this morning, there are still 480 people without power. Employees had nearly 3,000 miles of power lines to assess for damages. Since Christmas, they've driven 54,000 miles to report, record, and repair issues. Engineers estimate everyone's power to be back on by the end of this weekend. The F5 project has opened a new women's transitional housing unit in Fargo. The unit can house up to 3 women and will provide a home for women that typically face barriers in finding housing after incarceration or treatment. And the F5 project currently has various houses and units across the state of North Dakota that can support up to 43 men. But by now developing a women's transitional housing unit, they hope to bring the same quality of services to women in need. For more information on the new unit, just check out this story on our website or your free VNL News app. You can download and use it for free. Just search VNL News in the App Store. The North Dakota State College of Science received an honor today, the best community college in North Dakota. Institutions are evaluated across 6 categories and scored on a scale from 0 to 100. The assessment criteria includes academic quality, graduation rates, cost effectiveness, return on investment, and the availability of student resources. The final rankings highlight institutions that are highly attended, affordable, and equipped with the tools and resources needed for students to excel in their chosen fields. Congratulations to the 2023 Stork Award recipients. Firefighters Matt Breland and Corey Hodgson have both distinguished themselves in the performance of pre-hospital birth. When the 2 arrived on scene of a medical emergency, they found a woman who had just delivered a baby at home. They worked with medical providers and helped the mom and baby by performing hospital treatments. Because of them, the mom and baby survived without any major complications. If you're looking for a piece of local history this week, you have the chance to snag some historic items. There are more than 1,200 items being auctioned off from the old Moorhead High School and the downtown Mexican Village restaurant. The items from the school include classroom items, musical instruments, and microscopes. Customers can also bid on office supplies and furniture. The Mexican Village items include kitchen equipment, tables, chairs, booths, and lights. The fountain is also up for bid. From the stands to the streets, Minnesota sports fans can now rep their teams in style. The Public Safety Department offers more than 120 different specialty plates. WCCO's Uba Ali shows us some of this year's new designs, raising funds 1 license plate at a time.
From the field to the dugout, Minnesota sports fans can now showcase their pride beyond the stands and on the road. With 9 special license plates, including pro sports teams, 2 nonprofits, and a blackout look.
We're excited to see those plates on the road starting today.
It gives our fans a chance to be able to show their pride.
The new plates will cost about $15 and require a minimum annual contribution of $30.
Proceeds will go towards charitable organizations like the Minnesota Vikings Foundation and its mission to advance youth health and education, or the Minnesota Community Twins Fund supporting healthy children on and off the field.
So it's a great way for fans to show off their excitement and passion for the Minnesota Vikings while helping support a wonderful cause.
Brett Tabor with the Minnesota Vikings Foundation says this is a tangible way to make a difference.
That $30 that a fan were able to contribute, that means real tangible meals for kids in our communities.
For Twins territory, an opportunity to reach more children.
Community Fund funds programs and opportunities for youth to be able to connect with our game.
Drivers can also get plates to benefit the Lions Club, and the boldest plate is the blackout plate featuring white lettering. It's been so popular in other states, drivers asked for it to be added. Proceeds will help programs at DVS. Uba Ali, WCCO News.
All of those plates will be available online or in person at your local Deputy Registrar office. Well, baseball fans can get ready for the upcoming MLB season during a night with the Minnesota Twins at the 2024 Minnesota Twins Winter Caravan. It's set to roll through 11 cities from January 23rd through 30th. The event will feature fan engagement activities like question and answer sessions, autographs, and meet and greets, and each city will have 2 current Twins players and 1 alumni or broadcaster. The caravan will roll through Fargo on January 24th at the Sanctuary Event Center. Get ready, hockey fans. The 2026 IIHF World Juniors Championship is headed to the state of hockey. According to the Rink Live, the tournament will be held in the Twin Cities in 2026. The Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul is expected to be the primary venue for the tournament, with the secondary location at 3M Arena at Mariucci. The World Juniors is held December 26th to January 5th each year. An official announcement is expected Friday. Well, New Year, same worries when it comes to COVID and flu cases. Coming up later on Valley News Live at 5, see how the healthcare system is dealing with an increase in hospitalization rates.
And still a few lingering flurries for the next hour or two. Then temperatures dropping into the teens, a few in the single digits by tomorrow morning. We have a few more chances for some light snow in your forecast. We'll go over how much can be expected this weekend and how much colder we can expect to be next week. Your forecast is next.